So with that, let's move into the first part of this presentation, which is our megatrends universe. Let us understand first what is megatrends all about, and why it is so important for businesses, economies, individuals, and everybody belonging to this global ecosystem. So megatrends research is a long-term futuristic approach to understand certain vital forces, and these forces has the capability to transform any business, economy, or even a way of living. And by megatrends, we mean those vital transformative trends that can actually shape the future. And these trends also act as key drivers for growth across social, business, economic, political, environmental, and technological realms. Now, what is the significance of these megatrends, and why do we even need to take into account these transformative forces? So, if we go back and track for the last few years, we have seen the emergence of several disruptive global forces like geopolitical shifts, and we have seen a war situation going on between Ukraine and Russia. Then we have seen the growing impact of climate crisis, like there has been a lot of floods going on, and then there has been a lot of earthquakes coming in, and then also we have seen events like um, food shortage, water shortage. So all these are leading to the growing concern around climate crisis. And then we have also seen a lack of resilience in our supply chain because the world was exposed to certain events like the global pandemic. And then, of course, if we within the technology as a sector, we have seen the rapid advancement of generative AI, how generative AI has actually taken over the world in last 2 to 3 years. So all these events actually highlight a very real need to probe future global scenarios. And so there is always a constant question and constant and important questions that come up. That is how our future world and its inhabitants will evolve in next few years or in next 10 to 15 years, and what would be the appropriate actions that can be taken to ensure the best possible outcomes for businesses, citizens, economies, and the environment. And this gives us the motive to build the megatrends research. And so we began examining the transformational megatrends to 2040 that are influencing the creation of value networks. So the pie that you see here on the left-hand side of this slide is our megatrend universe that includes 23 megatrends, which are categorized across 5 major themes called the BEATS framework. So when you see along the periphery of the pie, you will see each of these BEATS framework has been put in, like B stands for the business model transformations, E for economic and political shifts, E for environmental priorities, T for technology advancements, and S for social trends. Also, across each of these 23 megatrends cluster that you see within this circle, we have gone further and dug deeper and identified over 70 subtrends which have a very strategic and operational importance and can be applied across various major industries. For example, if we have to take economic and political shifts, that is the E from the BEATS framework, and understand the megatrend that is new growth centers of the global economy, which means economies that have the growth impetus larger than any other economies in the world. Then we would see some subtrends like Africa emerging as a economic battleground, and the center of the global economy shifting from western side towards the Asian countries. Now, this particular framework of megatrends and subtrends have been built by us through intense research work done all year round by constantly monitoring, analyzing, and trying to conceptualize our observation within each of these themes. From this investigation, we have identified 10 transformational shifts that are of strategic importance to all industries, and and recognizing and leveraging these transformation trends, businesses can actually unlock new opportunities, and that will ensure them a long-term success strategy in a rapid changing world. So let's talk more about these transformative megatrends.